Hello, thank you for joining me for a chat today. This is the development diary for Beneath the Emerald Sea. And today's video is part of an ongoing development log for the source book I've been working on. I just want to take a chance to really go over what I've been working on, what I've been struggling with, and sort of the questions I still have. I'm hoping that if you're a designer, that this offers something useful that you might not have thought about or gives it a different take. Or if you're just curious about the process, then consider this a look behind the curtain as someone tries to do, a silly idea. But let's talk about where things are at right now. I'm currently still in development of just nailing down the lore and getting everything together. I spent the past week going over the different regions I want in the world. I have, I believe, settled on the main ones and I've started to flesh them out. I have four big regions to this campaign setting: the spires and the air, the spire lands, where it's the cities, the Emerald Sea, which is the forest ocean, and then the underground, which is within the mountains that the civilized races call home. I've broken down each of these into separate areas, 3 to 4 areas. The sky is its own area, just because there could be floating islands in that, but that's not really what I picture in the setting. So mostly it's the sky, the city-states, which there are 4. There's a pirate one, a steampunk crafter one, a crystal harvesting monk one, and then there is a trading port one. They're the big 4, as well as the different little villages. The Emerald Sea itself, which has 4 different layers: the shallows, the depths, the midnight abyss, and then the trenches. And then underneath the mountain, there is the shallow part of the mountain, the surface level. And then there is the petrified forests, the crystal caverns, a water biome, and a lava biome. So that one ends up being 5, but each of them brings something to the stories that I'm wanting to tell with this source book. So I'm kind of hoping to go through there. I need to fully crystallize their appearance and description, and then begin writing the book itself. I also looked at the bestiary portion because I do want to include several monsters. I think my list right now is at 24 monsters, which might be a bit ambitious, especially since I'm planning on doing variants of each one. Like the crag worms will have juveniles, adults, elders, and then ancient, because they're a dragon equivalent. So each of those 24 has variations on it. I might scale that number down just because that sounds like a giant pain in the ass, but I like making monsters. So kind of need to see what we're doing there. And that'll be in the next couple months. One of the design things I'm still struggling with is I do want airships to be a really big part of this source book. They're the main trade, they're the player's hub, is their own airship. So I want to read more settings that have sort of ships or airship rules. I'm taking a lot of inspiration for this from Edge of the Empire, and I need to read up on Planescape, because I know that they have some in there, but I know that it wasn't super fleshed out in 5th edition, so I might read some 3rd edition to try and get more information, or just more thoughts to get things going. I already have in mind several weight classes and how they function, or the power source that powers everything in the setting. The Ethereum, because Ethereum is a very common name. Every setting has Ethereum. So, sorry, these videos are kind of rambly because it's just me talking out the top of my head, taking a look back at the previous week or weeks. I haven't gone to playtesting yet, just because I want to nail down more of the setting and create a sample adventure so that I can start seeing how people respond to the setting and go from there. And then I might have to revamp some things, retool it. I do want to keep the basic ideas the same, because those are the ideas I like. And sort of what I'm working on next this week and this upcoming month, I want to finalize the bestiary list, just because 24 is a big number, and I still feel like it doesn't cover everything I want it to. So I might need to peel it back and then make it a separate thing, like an expanded bestiary for the setting, as a different project. But it just feels so weird leaving it on the table and not having it done. Like, these are monsters that should be in this setting. And then I also want to finish fleshing out the regions. I did work up a template for sort of the different highlight points I want to hit in this stage. I need to go through and apply that to all of the regions, fill it out, and then do a bunch of the 100 questions for your world prompt, things like that, and really go through there, answer them as best I can so that it makes me think about the world I'm making, instead of just musing it over for the past several years. That's kind of where I'm at and where the project's at. So if you're working on something similar, or you've wrestled with the same design questions or thoughts, then I'd love to hear how you approach them, just to give me a bit more perspective. And if you've made it this far, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, consider giving a like or a comment. And if you want to see more of the development logs, or more of my takes on role-playing games or monster design, then subscribe. I try to put out shorts daily and videos weekly. So, thank you. I will see you next time for the next development diary.